All right, welcome everyone to my stock market technical analysis channel. Leave me a thumbs up. I'm going to get right into it. I'm seeing some changes this morning, and I want to point out these key levels. My trading style and my trading strategy that I teach in the course, link is in the description below, is all about taking positions at key levels. So it's keeping your risk really close to where you're either going to be right or wrong, basically. And that's kind of where we're at right now, especially with tech. So that's why, when you're near a key level, you can have a certain read on the market and the chart and get position one way, but you got to be nimble and you got to be able to flip the other way because again, at a key level, it can go either way. And so you have to anticipate which way you think it's going to go, but then realize that when you're wrong, you can either, cut your losses or flip the other way. So the cues, here's what I want to point out. This downtrend line on the hourly chart, this is what we've been in for a little while. The sell signal was right here. I have it kind of circled. There's your sell signal. And we sold all the way down to 297, which was the support. So I had that trade right. Now recently, you can see we bounced off support and ran right to the downtrend line. And then yesterday, we popped above it. So because, that's a key level, yesterday the daily close above it made that look bullish. But today they gapped it down right to that trend line and we're kind of battling it out right here. So I'm actually, I've actually gone flat, took a small loss. Again, I got long right here on this breakdown candle. Again, it's all about keeping your positions close to key levels. So, you wake up, you're down, not even 1%. In my trade, I went flat, and now I'm kind of looking at, I'm undecided basically, but I need to see which way this wants to break. If we start to break down impulsively, likely this was actually a whipsaw breakout, a fake false breakout, and we are going to continue within this downtrend. Those are things to watch for. In corrections, you're going to get a lot of whipsaw signals and kind of fake outs, and that we might have just seen one. So usually, especially when you're shorting, there's always going to be moves that kind of shake you out of your short, and then it'll try to make the move without you. So it's important to be nimble, and that's what I'm trying to do. And that's why I'm trying to get this video out quickly, because I know I told everyone I was going long, and now I'm looking at, what this means as of today. So if we can continue higher, let's say you can read this one of two ways. This is either a back test of this trend line. We did break out yesterday and we are back testing support and we're going to hold and then bounce off of that and continue higher. Or this was a false breakdown and we are, we gap down back below and now we're going to sell off. Right now it's a battle. You can see it doesn't know which way it wants to break. So you have to just wait and watch. But I just want to point out kind of what we're working with right now. So this is mostly only happening in the Qs. The SPY is not at a key level where it really is that important, but the Qs is, and that's technology stock. So I am seeing, if you look at the NASDAQ futures, you can see yesterday we broke above, and this morning they came down, whipped it below, and now we're just kind of battling it out near that level. So it goes one or the other way. I don't know which way. If it starts to hold and move higher, then obviously that's that's bullish, and we should run up and fill some of those gaps, especially in Qs. There's that gap up there at 330.50, and so if this is a success, if this is a back test, we are going to hold and then probably run up and fill that gap. If it's not a back test, then I would look at the trend, this downtrend, and we're likely going to break and make a new leg lower in this downtrend. So watch for that. Okay, so that's the key level. Just mark the downtrend line on your hourly chart. Again, I use log scaling, and you'll be able to see what this wants to do and position accordingly. Next up, is really just these high flying tech stocks. They're kind of battling it out. Apps, that one looks, it closed below, but they bid it right back up and recovered. So I don't see, it's just not showing a breakdown yet. So I would just stay off this one for now. AMD still below resistance. Here's AMD on the daily going back to 2016. Here's your uptrend line. Here's your breakdown and a back test. and we're still below resistance. Now they could recover it, and this could be a whipsaw kind of fake false breakdown, bear trap basically, or it could reject. We're still below resistance and, you know, hanging below there. So I'm still short this one, waiting to see what this wants to do. The trade desk TDD, you can see there's your resistance line right there at 738.18, and it's just battling it out. You know, they gapped it below, but it's a battle going on right now. So we have to wait for that to finish to figure out where this wants to, you know, who's going to win the battle, and then we'll you know, we can just position for that. Here's Tesla. Tesla has a similar downtrend line right there on the daily, and if you go to the hourly, you can see that downtrend line, nice clean downtrend. And again, yesterday they closed it above. Today they kind of gapped it down, and they're hanging out. You know, they're so far okay, but it's not super impulsive. So we got to, you know, I'd watch the other markets and just watch for that Qs. The triple Qs will likely tell you where this one's going to go as well. Zillow Group. So Zillow Group, your resistance is right there at 158.70, and your support is at 132.90, at least as far as I can tell. And you can see, if I go to the daily, basically yesterday we, you know, moved above that, closing above that resistance, but not too far off. And then today they gap it right back down. So that's still holding. That we're still, you know, we're still in a sell the rip kind of market on this stock at least. So if this holds, then yeah, we are going to have that head and shoulders topping pattern. So just watch those levels, and, you know, I think it's probable that it is going to hold now, and we're going to move down. Here's Carvana. So Carvana's again battling it out with this level right here. So you can see Carvana, well, there it is right there. There's your support line, walking up on the daily chart. And we broke, had a nice sell signal. They ran it up, made it look like a back test. You know, they actually made it look like a recovery yesterday. I didn't close out my short in this because it didn't look convincing enough to me. And then today they've gapped it down, and they're still kind of battling it out with this level. So we'll wait to see where the resolution, you know, what happens. Chewy. So Chewy, I think, is going lower. The reason why I think it's going lower is we've had no real move. You know, here's your trend line right there, your support line, and we have negative divergence there. This was your last divergent high right here, and we did have a pullback to the trend line, but we did not break that trend line until recently. So there's your breakdown of the trend line, and there's a back test. Now yesterday they popped it up and made it look like a recovery. Today they gapped it back down, and they're back below. So again, it is battling. We'll see, but I do think it's likely to you know, continue its move lower. PayPal still below trend line support, or it's now resistance, but that's this blue line. There's your sell signal right there. You know, back test, didn't even do a full back test, but still below. So we could still back test, but I still think it's weak and likely to move lower. I like that one. Redfin, look, they moved it right above support or resistance right there yesterday, closing above. Today, gap it down, and it's back below. So all these are, you know, all these look like they had a kind of an overshoot from yesterday, kind of this momentum overshoot where it was just running, and just popped and closed above, but there's no follow through today. It's the sellers are right back at it. So that's really all I want to point out. Here's Snap. The Snap's recovered its trend line, so we'll see what that, you know, how that plays out. But I just want to point that out, and I'm going to get the video out right now just to kind of cover that, so everyone has an opportunity to kind of examine that for themselves.